Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Name 100 active NBA players.
100 active ones.
100 active NBA players. And we're going to go back and forth.
Victor Wembanyama.
LeBron James.
Cedric Howard.
Jalen Wells.
Gigi.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
There we go.
It took 77 players to get to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I am speaking to you from Stamford, Connecticut, where I'll be in studio tonight for CBS Sports HQ, round one of the 2026 NBA Draft. Bennett Doyle back in Memphis, producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for just one more day of speculation about which prospects will be selected by whom and where, because tonight we get our answers. We'll talk through it momentarily. The draft is only hours away. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Adam Finkelstein is Director of Basketball Scouting, CBS Sports. He's going to be in studio with me tonight, CBS Sports HQ. But before that, he's going to join me here. Fink, first question for him. Who are the Grizzlies taking with the third pick tonight? I'm going to ask him in 20 minutes. When I finish talking to Fink, we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, sometimes you guys seem to enjoy when I tell you ridiculous travel stories, so I got a fresh one for you. It involves me, CBS superstar Gayle King, on a plane together, dealing with bad weather, crazy delays, a diversion to Syracuse for fuel, and what amounted to like a 8.5-hour flight from Atlanta to New York City. It's a wild day. Didn't get my bags till 2:30 a.m., didn't get to my hotel till 3:30 a.m. But I'm okay. Woman next to me said she was too blessed to be stressed. I said, okay, I'll try that too. I'll tell you more about it during the segment in 40 minutes. Washington Wizards have given Trae Young a 4-year deal worth $212 million. I'm going to ask Bennett if he knows why in just a bit. Meantime, Julius Randle has been salary dumped from Minnesota to Brooklyn. Rough look for the Timberwolves. Remember, Randle was the centerpiece of the package they got back when they moved Karl Anthony Towns to New York. He's got a ring now. Less than 2 years after that, Minnesota had to give up a first-round pick just to get Julius Randle and his big salary and his bad attitude out of Minnesota. Woo. Spend some time on that. We'll do it later on in the show. Closer to home, the city of Memphis is pushing for a $5 million emergency fund for repairs at AutoZone Park today, and also canceling a consulting contract that seems like a massive waste of money, taxpayer money. Great work from Sam Hardiman over at the Daily Memphian. I'll tell you what he's reporting about our downtown ballpark. We'll do that in the third segment. And Lionel Messi continues to be the star of this World Cup. 2 more goals in Argentina's 2-0 victory over Austria yesterday. He's now the first person to ever score 18 goals in a career in the World Cup. We will celebrate this 5'7" GOAT during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start the 2026 NBA draft because it's now just less than 9 hours away. It's going to go down tonight inside Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Barring any trades, the Wizards will pick first, then the Jazz. And then with the third pick of the 2026 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies will select blank. That's the big question we've been pondering for weeks now since the lottery was set. Tonight, we finally get our answer. Big Bet Bennett, it's good to see you on a Tuesday morning. There were a couple times yesterday where I didn't know if I would. Have you heard or read anything that would make you move off your previous prediction that Cameron Boozer, the Duke star, reigning National Player of the Year, will be the players the Grizzlies select third overall later tonight and introduce at FedEx Forum later this week?
No, I think that's where this is headed. I do. Again, I just, keep refreshing people's latest mock drafts and looking at the betting markets, and that's everything seems to be pointing that direction. So if that's the way it goes, I'm going to be fired up for it.
I'm going to be fired up, too, and I echo your thoughts. Nothing's changed since yesterday. Barring a surprise, Cameron Boozer will be selected by the Grizzlies and introduced at FedEx Forum later this week. There's no need to talk through all of it again, I don't think. By now, if you listen regularly to this show, you know everything I think about Cameron Boozer and probably too much stuff about other stuff. I've said a lot of words. But did you see the quote from Carlos Boozer that was circulating yesterday?
Dude, yes. Now, that got me really fired up.
Turn me up, Carlos Boozer. Turn me up, Carlos Boozer. Now, obviously, he's talking about his son, and that should be taken into account. But these words resonated with me. Here's Carlos Boozer, former NBA All-Star, talking about his son, Cameron Boozer, who is expected to be the third pick of the Grizzlies tonight. Quote, "This kid is a winner. Basically, the one thing about Cam that separates him from everybody else in this draft is that he's a guy that the rest of the team will galvanize around because he does not cheat the game. He shows up every single day. He studies the game. He puts work into it every single day. He's as dedicated as you're ever going to find a player to his craft. And so because of that, the team will always follow him because he's a natural leader. And if you're looking for that, then you'll find that in him. If you need a leader, he's your guy. And if you don't draft him, you're going to regret that." End quote. Let's go.
That all sounds great to me. Great to me. I love the line about his teammate. I don't want to quote it wrong, but that his teammates will naturally flock to him. I thought that was a really good line. I mean, keep in mind, this kid's 18 years old, right? Like, I think that gets lost in the whole thing because of his size and, like, his maturity, but he's only 18. Like, I think that's pretty telling. And I know it's his dad saying that about him, but I thought that was a pretty telling line in the thing. I really like that.
Undeniably, it is. But I would drill down on it a little further. Players can galvanize around other players who are leaders or big personalities or just cool or whatever. Like, getting players to follow you can work in a variety of ways. So it's not just that Cameron Boozer, according to his father and everybody else who's ever met him, has the ability to just get people to follow him. You ready? Here's the key. They follow him in the right direction, to the right places, to the right things. That's the kind of leader you want. You get a leader who, yeah, people follow him because they look up to him, but he's leading you to some not so great places. Well, that can work not so well. And so I loved reading that quote, because if you were to ask Grizzlies fans or the front office, and they were speaking candidly, what do you need with the third pick in this draft? You need a face of the franchise, a great player, but you need a leader. You need somebody who's going to make people look at him, look up at him, and then follow him to good places, follow his good habits, follow his good ideas. And by all accounts, that's who Cameron Boozer is. As long as the Wizards and Jazz don't get goofy tonight, I expect he will be a Memphis Grizzly. Obviously, the big NBA news you might have woken up to this morning, if you weren't up late last night, is that Giannis Antetokounmpo is no longer a Buck. He's now a member of the Miami Heat. Blockbuster deal broken at 10:50 p.m. Central. Milwaukee has sent the two-time MVP and 10-time All-Star to the Heat for a package that features Tyler Hero, Milwaukee native, so that's kind of cool. Kello Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparis Jakučionis, and 3 first-round picks, including the 13th overall pick in tonight's draft. Bobby Portis from Milwaukee is also going to Miami. He is part of the deal. Big Bet Bennett, your thoughts?
I think it's obviously a good deal for the Heat. I think the Bucks got a solid return. I think that I'm not sure that the Heat instantly become contenders in the East. I think they instantly become one of the best defensive teams in the East with Giannis and Bam and Davion Mitchell. You got Wiggins there as well. Like they've got a really good defensive start. Norm Powell too. You got a really good defensive starting lineup. So I think they'll instantly be in the mix in the East. I'm not sure if it elevates them to contender status, but we'll see like what other kind of moves they end up making.
So among the most interesting aspects of this development is that Milwaukee apparently turned down a package from Boston that included Jaylen Brown. And did you hear the rationale for this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's interesting because a lot of NBA insiders sort of got twisted around in this one a little bit. Chris Haynes had a moment on TV where last night he's like, this is going to be a Boston thing. They're the leader. And shortly after that, it was just like, boom, Miami's got this big package and Giannis is going to Miami. So he goofed that up. I guess we're all vulnerable to that. So not piling on, but like this is the way the night unfolded. And then Shams yesterday afternoon on ESPN was constantly sort of just making the point over and over again. Yeah, Miami can add this and this and this and this. But the one thing Miami cannot do is add a Jaylen Brown. Like if you're just trying to get like a top 10 player in the world, there's only one place that seems willing to give you that right now. And that's Boston. Jaylen Brown. Miami doesn't have it. And the way he was talking, and he's like the biggest insider there, it was like he knows at the end of the day, Milwaukee's just going to take the best player available, and that's Jaylen Brown. Sounds like Giannis might be headed to Boston. And that's how you get a lot of reports that Boston is the leader for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But ultimately, it appears that Milwaukee, Jimmy Haslam, owner, who also owns the Cleveland Browns, Tennessee native, by the way, he did well for himself. He just went through a Myles Garrett trade demand in Cleveland and just went through a Giannis Antetokounmpo, what amounts to a trade demand in Milwaukee. And based on the reporting, he decided, in what world are we bringing established star Jaylen Brown to Milwaukee? We don't actually have a contender around him quickly, and he's not asking to get out of here because he wants to go back and compete for championships like he did in Boston. Like, isn't that what we're inviting? And so why get a guy on a Supermax deal who might say he wants to be here, but if this doesn't go perfectly, we're going to be trying to shop another star for a package in a couple of years. So we'll pass on that. Miami, just give me the local kid, couple other young guys, a bunch of picks and swaps, and I'll just take the better package, like a blank slate, as opposed to trying to build around Jaylen Brown with the hope that Jaylen Brown won't be frustrated with us at some point very soon. And you know what? That all makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
It does. Yeah, it absolutely does.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I would have done too. Just give me the picks and the young players, and I don't want to deal with somebody else's supermax player who's already won a championship and a finals MVP somewhere else coming to our market and then getting frustrated and asking out, just like our last franchise player did. Just give me the package of young players and picks, and we'll start fresh. I think what Milwaukee did here was smart. I think they chose the better of the two packages, and I think they got a much better haul than it appears they were capable of getting at the trade deadline back in February. By the way, if you're Boston now, do you have to move on from Jaylen Brown? Is that done?
Man, I don't know. I mean, it's not the first time that they've, reportedly shopped him around. And I want to say the first time was before they won the title. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like something that they've gotten past before. So I don't know if it's like an inevitability that they're going to have to move him because of how all this went down. But he's got to be feeling some kind of way right now.
Man.
There's just no doubt about it. Like, it's like I've been, Tatum's been injured. I've been your best player. I've been keeping this thing afloat. It's obviously, when you talk about the Celtics, I think like it's probably debatable like who their best player is. Like I think during the championship run, even though Jaylen Brown had that incredible run, I think people still consider Tatum the best player there. But it's really it's both of those guys, right? Like it's a tandem thing. And so I don't know. I would be feeling some kind of way like, oh, you don't think I'm your best player? Like, okay, all right, well, we'll see. I don't know.
We all know it's a business. Right, we all know that. We hear it from players all the time. Hey, it's a business. Basketball's a business. There ain't no love in this thing. Ain't no loyalty in this thing. We hear that all the time. And I think deep down we know that, right? When the Celtics trade Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies to try to break through and win a championship, they love Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart loves them, but it's a business. But it hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all understand, when we're talking about it, emotions aside, this is a billion-dollar business. Billion-dollar franchises do what's best for them. If you thought otherwise, you really lost focus at some point. We all intellectually understand that. But, man, I don't know. It takes somebody much more mature than me to be able to deal with what Jaylen Brown's dealing with right now. Because from my perspective, I would be like, I have always been treated like the second fiddle here. Always. Mm-hmm. I have always been treated like the second fiddle heel, even when I'm one of the 10 best players in the world.
Right.
Even when I was the finals MVP. Even when Jason Tatum got injured and people didn't know if we were going to take a huge step back. And I took the reins of that thing while he was rehabbing, and we had a second best record in the East. And I was 6th in MVP voting. And now you're trying to move me? I don't care how many pats on the backs you got for me. I don't care how many, hey, buddy, it's just a business. You have to understand. I don't care if intellectually I know if you got a chance to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, you might need to take a real look at that. I got all that. But I think they have to move him. I don't think he's going to be able to deal with this. This will not get resolved the way it needs to get resolved.
I mean, I think there's a handful of franchises that can get past they can do the it's just a business thing. Hey, no hard feelings. We're still happy you're here. I think that's probably one of them. So if any team can get past it, I think it could be the Celtics. But I'm with you, man. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm feeling some kind of way today. I'm wanting to go prove them wrong. That's what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah, like, hey, you tried to give me away a couple years ago. Then I won you a championship. Then I carried the franchise while I guess the guy you guys say is the franchise player, I carried the franchise while he was out. 6th in MVP voting, maybe should have been higher. And you're just going to discard me like that. Okay, I got it. It's a business. But I'll start treating this like a business too. Don't talk to me about love for the Celtics and all that stuff. I'll show up for work because that's my job and I get paid a lot of money to do it. But it's a business. I got it. Perhaps I lost focus of that. I know it's supposed to be a business. I thought we had something different. The way you talked to me suggested we had something different.
I wonder what the asking price is.
Pennies on the dollar now, or at least dimes on the dollar or quarters on the dollar, because now if you're another franchise and you were like, man, I would love Jaylen Brown, and they might be headed for divorce over there. I might not have to convince them to get divorced. Milwaukee was trying to convince them to get divorced, or they were at least interested in getting divorced, and that's how that happened. This is one where, hey, they might now think they need to break up, not for Giannis, but for anything. They thought they need to break up for Giannis. now they might need to break up because you clearly were shipping me out. And this is the second time it's happened in 4 years. And I don't want to feel that way. I know the direct deposits keep coming and I'll get my shots and points and all that stuff. But you just told me twice in 4 years what you think about me. I would rather be somewhere where somebody else thinks differently about me. And I want to be clear, maybe there's no place in the world that would think you shouldn't be on the table for Giannis Antetokounmpo, potentially. It's a business. I got it. But Jaylen Brown, I've seen him on Twitch enough to know he's got feelings.
Right.
I bet they're hurt today. And I bet this is going to get way more complicated. And it'll be very difficult to resolve. I'm not saying they can't do it. I want to be clear. I'm not predicting the Celtics will move Jaylen Brown because this is impossible to fix. It's going to be hard to fix. Maybe not impossible, but definitely difficult. Either way, you know who none of this is really good for? Doesn't sound like Ja Morant.
I mean, these were definitely, obviously Miami was a team that was connected to him, I guess.
There was a report from a legitimate reporter that said if Miami doesn't get Giannis, they will turn their attention to a Ja Morant deal.
Yeah. Now,
and they got Giannis, so they will now presumably not turn their attention to a Ja Morant deal. Meantime, John Krasinski, who covers the NBA for The Athletic, but has real close ties to Minnesota, is reporting that Minnesota is out after doing the deals that they did yesterday. And it looks like they got another big one coming because they cleared out a big trade exception in cap space. He's reporting they're out on Ja Morant too. So it's like, okay, 3 days ago, if you asked Sam Amick to discuss Morant destinations, he would say Sacramento, maybe Miami, maybe Minnesota, maybe. Well, now Minnesota is reportedly out and Miami is presumably out. So I don't know. We'll see. It could be any minute. But these things are both true.
Yeah.
There was a report at one point that said Ja Morant's preferred destination was Miami, and there was a report as recently as yesterday that said if Miami does not get Giannis, they will turn their attention to Ja Morant. So there's a moment yesterday where if you're Ja, you're sitting there going, all I need is the Bucks to take Jaylen Brown, and that might open it up to where I go to Miami, which is where I want to go. And then, boom, Jimmy Haslam decides he don't want to deal with Jaylen Brown. Just give me a young players and picks. Miami gets their guy. They don't want you anymore. And now you have no idea where you're playing basketball, or at least less of an idea where you're playing basketball next season. That's how little things like that could impact your life in huge ways, and it ain't really got nothing or very little to do with you. You're just sitting there waiting to see what the Bucks are going to decide. Do they want this package or that package? If they take this package, you might end up in Miami. If they take that package, hello, Sacramento. It really might come down to that. Interesting times.
It is.
Fink's up next.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzly's Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzly's checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Sacramento King fans, whatever you do, do not swipe. De'Aaron Fox, they fire Mike Brown.
Oh, no.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Man. Oh, no. 5 NBA Finals appearances in the last 4 years for people that were in the Kings facility.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Grizzlies, take your fandom to the next level by becoming an MVP.
How long have you been an MVP? Since day one.
Enjoy the great benefits of being a season ticket member. Pre-game MVP moments, including Autograph Alley, exclusive Grizz gear deals, access to member or MVP-only player events, and much more.
He's been an MVP for 22 years!
Become a Grizzlies MVP today.
Welcome back. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. I am in Stamford, Connecticut for the NBA draft. Going to be in studio for CBS Sports HQ tonight. Ben Doyle back inside the Built for Tough studio in Memphis producing things. And I'm joined now by Adam Finkelstein, who is the director of basketball scouting, CBS Sports. He's my friend and colleague. He'll be in studio with me tonight here in Connecticut. Looking forward to that. Fink, how you doing on this Tuesday morning? Happy draft day.
Oh, thanks so much. It's a great day. My favorite day of the year.
It really is a wonderful day, and I don't mean to get too, hokey with it, but on a very basic level, and I know because of NIL, these men are all millionaires already, but we're going to watch 30 dreams come true tonight. Every one of these dudes, when they started bouncing a ball, had a dream of something like this. As stupid as I know it must sound, even people like me have dreams of stuff like this. And it doesn't happen for any of us, but it's going to happen for 30 players tonight. And I can watch 30 of these years after years after years. Those moments never get boring or uninteresting to me. I love them.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think, I'm very lucky to be able to do what I do and kind of trace these kids through the years. I mean, I was kind of posting some stuff this morning on social media. The first time I saw AJ DeBonsa play, he was in 8th grade. First time I saw Cameron Boozer play, he was in 9th grade. Darren Peterson's been around since he was younger. Same thing with Caleb Wilson. So a lot of these guys I've been able to watch and track through the years. And it's just very lucky to be able to do that. Tonight's it's not the end of a race, but it's certainly a culmination of a lap, if you will, because I think these guys are going to continue to compete and be compared against each other for years to come. But this will be the end of me kind of evaluating them. So it's a lot of fun, and I've got a lot of gratitude to be able to do what I do.
I've been around Cameron Boozer at basketball games. I've had him on a Zoom just like this. He seems like a pleasant young man, but I'd be lying to you if I told you I know him well or really at all. You, on the other hand, are a director of basketball scouting who covers the sport at every level. You've known him since he was 14, 15 years old. Barring a surprise tonight, he is expected to be selected 3rd overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. From your perspective and your experience, can you tell folks watching what this franchise appears to be getting if it goes down that way?
The biggest winner in the draft, without question, and someone who I think should be firmly in the mix to be the #1 pick. That's been my contention for well over a year now. Coming out of last year's high school basketball class, these were the 3 prospects that we had atop, and it was DeBonsa, Peterson, Boozer. And I said then Boozer needed to be in that same conversation because he had won every single championship. And I've said this so many times. Actually, today will probably be the last time I tell this story. But Boozer won every single championship he played in high school. 4 high school state championships, every USA basketball gold medal. He won a Nike EYB championship in the E15, E16, and then EYBL division. And then he won, which I think is most impressive, the national championship at Columbus High School, competing against boarding schools. So it was a clean sweep. He never lost anything in high school. Then he goes to Duke, and he's the player of the year in college basketball, consensus player of the year. And yet throughout the whole time, people are perceiving him to be somehow behind guys like DeBonsa, Peterson. Cooper Flagg was in that discussion as well before he reclassified. And all this guy does is win. From a personality standpoint, I would tell you that he is a serious-minded individual. I mean, he is very focused. You rarely see him You rarely see him joking around. He's very serious. But everybody around Duke says not only did his teammates like him, they respected him. He was able to take on a leadership role from day one, and I think that's important too, because it's one thing to be the best player, it's one thing to be on winning teams, but when the guys on your team gravitate to you and respect you, again, we're talking about somebody who's only 18 years old. That's pretty impressive. So Memphis is getting the total package here if he does go at 3, and I think that Grizzly fans should absolutely rejoice if this comes to fruition.
Is there a chance he could come off the board 1 or 2? I mean, you and I don't project that, but I have not ruled that out.
No, it's not impossible. I don't know that Washington will go in that direction, but it's somewhat ironic to me because I think he would actually fit there next to Alex Sarr, but there's been very little traction or reports of that. I think the biggest threat, if you're hoping he gets to Memphis, is Utah at number 2. And that scenario would be Debonsa going at 1, and then Utah having to choose between Peterson and Boozer. And the thought process had been that Peterson would be the better fit, put him next to Keontae George, you have your backcourt of the future. A lot of people have talked about that Carlos Boozer, Cam's dad, works for the Jazz. What I can tell you, GP, and this should be, pretty much common sense, that's not going to impact whether or not Utah takes him. What I do think it impacts, though, and did impact, is how they treated him in the pre-draft process. And I don't think they would have brought him to Utah for a visit unless he were a serious option. You're not going to waste the time of one of your employees' kids. And quite frankly, if I'm Carlos Boozer, I'm not letting my kid waste his time doing that song and dance if I know that's not a realistic possibility. So that, to me, I thought that was a pretty revealing trip. It was timed. It was around the same time that Darren Peterson said, hey, I'm not working out there. So I think people linked those two variables together. I don't think those two are linked. I don't think that'll bother Utah that Peterson didn't work out there. But I think the Jazz, if Debonsa goes 1, have a real decision to make here at 2.
It's interesting because Carlos Boozer, he wears 2 hats. He's an executive with the Utah Jazz. He is also a father of Cameron Boozer. And so, I love the quote that he provided yesterday and was circulating on social media, but he did say this: as a member of the Utah Jazz organization, he verbally said, if you pass on Cameron Boozer, you're going to regret it. And it is the franchise he works for that will have an opportunity to pass on Cameron Boozer. And I don't know what to make of that exactly.
Yeah, I didn't see that quote, but that is you got to wonder how Danny and Austin Ainge feel about that quote. Yes. Because I think here's the other thing. Carlos Boozer is not making this call. I mean, this is an Ainge family pick. This is Austin Ainge. This is Danny Ainge. And they are making this call. And everybody else in the room, like most war rooms, their job is to feed up information and make their case to the people who are making the ultimate decision. And that's Danny Ainge and Austin Ainge. And so it's a matter of what they're going to want to do. But what I have reminded people over the course of the last week is it wasn't that long ago that they were running the Celtics front office. Danny Ainge was running the Celtics front office, and Austin Ainge was working for him. So a little bit of a different dynamic. But remember then, it was a year in which Markelle Fultz was viewed as very similar to Darren Peterson, the high upside guard who everybody was excited about. The Celtics had a contrarian opinion that Jason Tatum was better. They traded down, they swapped the pick, they took Tatum, they won an NBA championship because of it. So I think that's also relevant too. So again, I'm not sure what Utah is going to do here. I'm fascinated to find out tonight.
Okay, so talk to me about Darren Peterson. To me, this is I get nervous for the Grizzlies if we end up in this situation as a franchise, because I hold both of these thoughts. I think Darren Peterson, if every prospect in this draft, Debonsa, Boozer, Peterson, you name them, becomes the absolute best version of themselves that I can imagine, I think he's the best player. I think his talent is at the top. I'm terrified of him, though, because of how the season unfolded at Kansas. And honestly, because of some stories I've heard and because of some things he says. Can you calm me down if we've got to do this?
Yeah, no, I think I've only got more gas to throw on that fire. I would agree with you, though. I think there is a case to be made that he is the best natural talent. In fact, coming out of high school, I ranked him number 1 overall last year. And that was before we saw the shot making that we saw at Kansas grow to this extent. If you had told me a year ago that Darren Peterson was going to be the type of shot maker that he was this year at Kansas, and that he wasn't going to be the number 1 overall player on everyone's board, I would have said no way, because that was the part of his game that had to catch up, and it made strides in his senior year, prolific prep. But to be the type of tough shot maker we saw this year at Kansas is pretty extreme. The problem is that all the stuff he was known for in high school, the creation, the big strong guard who had length and physicality to his game, who really understood how to draw fouls, who had like jumbo initiator to him, we didn't see as much of that. So the upside is about pairing what we saw in high school with what we saw in Kansas. And it's also conditional upon someone who would have to get past all the issues of this year. And that's just not, I mean, you and I talked about this on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. That's just not getting a clean bill of health medically, but that's having the mental comfort to know that he's okay and he can play through, bumps and bruises and discomfort without having to be 100% all the time. Because to your point, I think some of the questions that were not answered as well as they could have been surrounded the circumstances that led to all his absences this year, and also how frequently he was 100%. I mean, I wanted to hear Darren Peterson, and I expected to hear Darren Peterson say, I wasn't 100% all year long, and I did my best to fight through it because I was trying to help Kansas win games. If that was the narrative and the medical was clean, that would have been really, really clean. That's not what happened. He said this was all because of creatine. And then he said, I think I was 100% at different points during the course of the season. And then me and a bunch of other people were like, well, if you were 100%, why weren't you attacking the rim like we saw in high school? Why were you playing exclusively off the ball when we thought you were this on-ball guy? So there are some things that you had. There's some variables that the dots just don't connect right now. And my hope, because I really like Darren Peterson, I really respect him as a kid too. That's the thing. He's an awesome kid. I hope he figures it out because his talent is big time, and he's a baller. He's a guy who loves ball. His work ethic, I think, is extreme. And as long as there are no obstacles, I think he's got the potential to be a true star in the NBA.
I think this is less of a concern with different franchises than it would be for the Grizzlies because, as you know, this franchise just went through a period of time where the franchise player was in street clothes a lot. Yeah. And if I even tweet something like we could do this right now as an exercise. I could live right now tweet, man, I really would get excited if Darren Peterson fell to 3. He would be amazing in Beale Street Blue. Within 3 replies, somebody would say, yeah, then you know what? The Grizzlies should just keep Ja and then get Ja and Darren Peterson together. And then they could be like, hey, you play that game and I'll play this game. And then I'll skip the next 4 and it's just jokes on tops of jokes. And that's before we even get to if it actually materializes or unfolds like that. It's just, so that's the nervousness attached to doing something like this. But let me ask you have a better grasp for this than most. If he's there at 3, given everything you know about this franchise and him, would you still do it?
I would. My only hesitation would be that because just the nature of the pre-draft process, because he didn't come to Memphis. What that means is that Zach Kleinman in the front office, they have the medical because that was made available to people at the combine. What they don't have is the opportunity to do any sort of additional testing, and a lot of teams do this. We don't talk about this as much, but whether it's personality testing, whether it's psychological testing, I mean that stuff is common nowadays, and they didn't have an opportunity to dive into any of that. So they're making their determination strictly off the medical. Now, having said all that, I would still do it. I mean, you guys, I just heard you guys talk about it. The Ja Morant era is essentially, coming to an end. They need their next lead guard of the future for as well as they have drafted over the course of the last few years. And I think they've done it better than anybody, particularly in the second round. I don't know that they have their star. Like who's the heir apparent to Ja Morant? It could and it should be Darren Peterson. You would know better than me, but I think that market would, as long as he embraces them, that it would be reciprocal and he would have a chance to be a star there. And I also think that the from what I know of the front office and the organizational culture, that it would be able to support him in positive ways too. I think that's the other thing, is that the three front offices here. I mean, you think about how quick Utah cleaned up the Ace Bailey situation last year. I mean, these are three stable situations in terms of the way that these franchises are managed.
Yeah, just for the record, if it actually does get to a point where that's the decision that has to be made, it'll be here. I said, yes, I would take Darren Peterson third. I know I've said a lot of things about Darren Peterson over the months and weeks and days, but if the Grizzlies are in a position where they have to pick between him and everybody else but DeBonson, Boozer off the board, I would take a big gulp, and then I would select Darren Peterson. And to your point, this city wants so badly for a new basketball player to love. If he will allow himself to be loved, he will be the most popular person in this city by far if he happens to be here. Again, we get our answers tonight. I appreciate your time. Last thing before I let you go. There's a lot of speculation that the Grizzlies could move up. Right now they got 3-16, but they have tons of future first and assets and all that stuff. The idea would be take Boozer at 3 if he's there. Identify a lead guard you love in that Michael Brown, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, Darius Acuff group, and then move up. It sounds like Wagler really thinks he's going 5. He canceled with 6, canceled with 7. So let's say of the Acuff, Brown, Flemings group, or just throw LeBaron, Philon, Christian Anderson there too. Is there a lead guard you like among that you could see pairing well with theoretically Cameron Boozer, Zach Edey, Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells?
Yeah, so I will say this. I think that's an area where the medical is going to be really important. There's been a lot of talk in the last 48 hours about Michael Brown's medical, even a little bit about Darius Acuff's medical. So that is something that we really don't have complete information of. I think so 48 hours ago, GP, I was contemplating mocking Michael Brown to the Clippers at 5, regardless of the fact that Keaton Wagler had canceled that workout with Brooklyn. But ultimately, I stuck with Wagler because of what I had heard about how the Clippers were interpreting Brown's medical. So does Memphis have come to similar conclusions than the Clippers did? I don't know. In a vacuum, I think Acuff would be the guy that I want, because I think the best version of Cameron Boozer is when he is playing in the flow, really utilizing his passing ability and that physicality. I think a Boozer-Acuff tandem would be really special. And the other thing is Acuff is capable of coming in and playing right now. Like, he's not a theoretical guy. He's not a let's put 20 pounds on you and see how your body holds up. To your point about Ja Morant's injury history, Michael Brown's had some injury histories as well. So you're again, like, you're taking a deep breath on that one too. So I think Acuff, if you could come out of this with Acuff and Boozer, even Flemings and Boozer, I think Kingston Flemings has a really high ceiling. Really high floor and a solid ceiling. So I like any of those scenarios. The other thing I'll add though is I think the Bulls and the Grizzlies are kind of aligned in this, and that they think they're, both going to get an all-star caliber forward here in Boozer and Wilson, and they'd love to move up to get a second top 10 pick to take advantage of this deep point guard class as well.
That is Adam Finkelstein, Director of Basketball Scouting at CBS Sports. You can follow him on X at Adam Finkelstein. You can see him tonight on CBS Sports HQ. Our coverage starts at Hey, what time does our coverage start? What time do I need to be
7,
there?
I got to be there at 5:30. I think it starts at 7.
Okay, I can't have you call timing me. I can't have you out call timing me. What time are you showing up? I'll get there right when you do.
I'll be there at 5:30.
All right, we ordering pizza again?
I don't usually do that before a 5-hour show, but that's your call. That's your call.
Hey, we don't. They tell me when you're up in Connecticut, you got to get to pizza.
Yeah, that's a New Haven thing. That's not a Stanford thing. That's.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, look, we'll eat food at some point tonight, and
there you go.
And I can't wait to watch you give grades so that people on Twitter can call you stupid.
Oh yeah, you used to do that, so you feel my pain. Pain.
I know what you're going through. I've walked your walk before. I've walked in your path. I know what you're doing. I look forward to watching you doing tonight. I'll see you soon, buddy.
It's gonna be fun. Thanks, GP.
All right, Fink. That's Adam Finkelstein, Director of Basketball Scouting, CBS Sports. When we come back, oh buddy, I got a travel story for you. As you know, yesterday I had to go from Memphis to Atlanta to New York. I was trying to accommodate other people's schedules and ended up really messing mine up. I got stuck in Atlanta. Then I ended up in Syracuse. I spent 8.5 hours on an airplane with Gayle King. Nice woman, at best I can tell. I'll tell you to it. Oh, man. What a night. We'll talk about it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Get ready, Grizzlies fans. It is time for the Surfside Can Shuffle. Can you keep up with the cans and find Mac the Crab?
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Playoff Corgi is a girl. Playoff Corgi, Air Corgi, said that the Spurs are going to win in 7 games, and so the Spurs had Air Corgi at the official finals pep rally, women and girls in sports.
Did they fly that Corgi in?
I don't know the details, but the Corgi showed up at the pep rally, and I just think that's an incredible moment.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more, orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Oh, Bennett, I got a day. I had a day yesterday.
What's going on?
Man, you don't even know. You have no idea what I went through since the moment you last saw me yesterday, right after the show concluded. So I went to Memphis International as planned, departure time of 1:40. And before I even got on that plane, I started getting notifications. It said, "We're sorry for your delay." And I'm like, it's okay. It's no big deal. I got really nothing else to do today. It's fine. I was expecting maybe it'd be 45 minutes or something like that. They said, "We're sorry for your delay." And then I noticed very quickly, this is not a delay in Memphis. I'm still leaving Memphis at 1:40. We're all cool at Memphis International, but there's a delay getting out of Atlanta. About that time, I find out that the Mets and Cubs game has already been postponed. They play that at Citi Field. I don't know if you know much about the greater New York area, but Citi Field is right next to LaGuardia. So if it's raining so bad at Citi Field, the weather's so bad at Citi Field that you can't play a baseball game, there's at least a chance you're going to have some problems at the airport. And, buddy, we have problems at the airport. So we get to Atlanta, and you settle in at the Atlanta airport, and it's just like, you're waiting for Delta to tell you when you're going to try to take off, but we don't know. It's got nothing to do with the plane. It's got nothing to do with Atlanta. It's got nothing to do with the crew. We just watching the Weather Channel and hoping it clears up north, but it doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. So you just sit here, and we're just sitting there, and we're just sitting there. But eventually we do take off. I think initially we're supposed to take off at 5 p.m., and maybe we took off closer to 6:30ish or something. And then we're in the air. And this is the part where at some point I start to doze off a little bit, fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep, wake up. And I've been on planes long enough to know that when stuff starts looking familiar, over and over again and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere, you might be in a holding pattern. Sure enough, we were in a holding pattern. We could not land in New York anywhere. LaGuardia, JFK, nowhere. Can't land the plane. We're just circling New York. Bad weather, just circling, nonstop. Eventually, they say, hey, guys, here's the plan. I know this plane is supposed to be going to LaGuardia. We could turn around and go back to Atlanta. We could do a bunch of different things. We're going to try to go to JFK. For some reason or another, we can't. It's backed up at LaGuardia, but we think we can get to JFK. We're taking you to JFK. It's better than any alternative we got. I'm like, buddy, take me to JFK. As long as I got an Uber there, I'll get where I'm trying to get to. Can't get into JFK. Once we try to get there, can't land. They cut it off. We're just circling nonstop. Then they tell us, all right, guys, we're going to Syracuse. We're running out of fuel. Strait of Hormuz is closed. Fuel issues. I don't know if these things are actually connected, but that's what popped into my head. They said, we're going to Syracuse. I said, all right, it's been a minute since I've been to Syracuse. I'll go, as long as we don't have to stay there long. And the next thing I hear is, guys, we're probably spending the night in Syracuse. And the next thing I see on my Delta app is, GP, don't worry about it. We've already rebooked you on a flight. You can fly from Syracuse to LaGuardia tomorrow at 7:38 p.m., about 30 minutes after the NBA draft starts.
It's not going to work.
So I am looking at, like, renting a car. Like, am I just going to have to crash out in Syracuse, wake up today, do this show on no sleep, and then drive 4 or 5 hours to Stamford, Connecticut? I've got text in my drafts to you and Kyra trying to walk you all through it. And then just as I'm pretty much hitting panic mode, not panic mode, but like, man, this sucks. They said, okay, here's the next update. How you guys like this? What if we decide not to spend a night in Syracuse? Our flight crew, the pilots are fine, but the attendants have timed out. They should be off work now, and it is genuinely up to them. They can say, we've been working and flying and giving people pretzels and peanuts since 5 a.m. We're done. And then we just have to ground this plane, and we're all staying in Syracuse. What they have told us, our crew, the attendants, is that they will stay here as long as we have to stay here. If you guys want to get to LaGuardia or JFK at some point, we cannot promise you when that's going to be. We might sit here for hours on this runway, and we want to be clear, you cannot leave the plane. You have to just sit here, or like you can get in the little walkway, but you can't go back into the airport. You're what do y'all want to do? And it was like, just get me to New York City at some point. So we sat on the plane, me and Gail King. She was there. Poor Gail King. You don't expect to be stuck on a plane for 8.5 hours with Gail King.
Were you sitting next to her?
Not next to her, but near her. I will say, the way people like her, I've run into this, because this was Atlanta to New York. You're going to find a direct Atlanta to New York. You're going to see people on the plane sometimes. And usually the way people like her when they travel, it's always the same. They got the seat next to the window, and there's somebody on the aisle next to them. This guy looked like a bodyguard maybe, but sometimes it's a friend. But there's somebody sort of keeping a barrier between the super famous person and the other people who are just trying to walk to the bathroom. And so that's what it looked like. But she was great. She was talking to whoever wanted to talk and saying hi. And she seemed not frustrated at all and super cool to everybody who was like, oh, wow, look at you. And so the crew was like, hey, if you guys want to wait this out, and I don't even want to misrepresent it. I don't even think they really asked us if we wanted to wait it out. They sort of just said, hey, their crew is willing to wait it out. They don't have to. They could call it a night now, but they're willing to. So that's what we're going to try to do, because we assume that's just better for everybody, which it obviously is. And so we sat there probably for another 2 hours. Long story, not so long. I landed at LaGuardia at whatever time. Did not get my bags till 2:30 a.m. and did not get to my hotel till 3:30 a.m. And then, oddly, I don't know, I had this moment of like, it was a calming experience almost. And I was trying to figure out why, because you watch these videos that circulate on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else, and it's just delays, problems on planes, and it's just people yelling and fighting. I saw one the other day, and it was a lady like, I've got to get off this plane. She literally started climbing over the seats, over people. And it's just, there's always somebody either flipping out because they're not okay, or they're drunk, or they're being an asshole, or there's a baby screaming, or something. Like, you see these videos all the time. And even though I was on a plane with other humans, like from the moment we walked onto the plane to the moment we walked off to the plane, it was about 8.5 hours. I am going to Portugal next month, and it will not take me 8.5 hours to get there. But it took me 8.5 hours to fly from Hartsville International to LaGuardia. It's supposed to take 2. It was 8.5. You would think people would be tired, mad, angry. And yet there was none of that on the plane. And I, trying to analyze it, I was like, why is that? Why weren't people yelling and screaming and mad and frustrated? And I think it's because it was very clear, almost from the jump, these people are doing all that they can do. And there is nothing anybody can do. This isn't Delta overbooked something or Delta has a mechanical problem. This is weather in New York. And this crew seems like they're willing to mess up their days to try to make ours not so bad. And at that point, when people are trying like that, I just find it's very difficult to get mad. Who you mad at? Who are you going to yell at in that moment? The flight attendant who is literally working overtime times 1 billion to try to get you where you're supposed to go when they don't have to do that at all? You going to be mad at that person? I had this experience recently in a couple of different customer service things. I told you about the Tesla thing. I got so mad at Tesla out of Germantown Parkway because I felt like they just weren't trying. They created a problem, and they weren't trying to fix it, or they weren't making a real effort to fix it. So I got furious. I even told the guy in customer service, I was like, man, I ain't never worked in customer service, but this can't possibly be how it's supposed to go. We both agree that you messed up my car. We both agree on that. It's not something I did. It's something you guys did, and you're doing nothing to try to fix this. That seems bad. I'm mad at you right now. I told him that. And then last week, I had another type of customer service thing. Had to get another windshield fixed. Rocks, man. They will bust up a windshield. So I had to get a windshield fixed. I make an appointment. They say, you got to drop it off at 9 o'clock. And it's an all-day thing. You can come pick it up at 5, but you don't want to wait. Drop it off at 9. Come pick it up at 5. Fine. Dropped it off at 9. Came back at 4:30. Not ready. Guy comes to me at 5. Walks into the little office. And I could tell he was nervous to talk to me. He was like, Mr. Parrish? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I could just tell, I could see it on his face. And I was like, just where are we at? Just level with him. And he said, okay, here's the deal. We ordered your windshield. We got it in. We got your previous windshield out. We went to put in this other windshield. It cracked. It happens sometimes. Or maybe it was cracked before it even got here. It happens sometimes. I don't even work at this office. I'm just here for the week helping out. If this happened at my shop, I just called this place. They'd have another windshield brought right over. It happened at this shop. I called the place. They can't help me. I don't know what to do because not familiar with this place. And I could just tell he was over talking. Like he needed 30 seconds to say it, and he took 4 minutes. So in some ways, he was a lot like me. And I just stopped him almost, and I said, hey, it's cool. I got it. Now, in fair, I was furious. I just wasted my day. I drove there, drove back. My car's all busted up. I'm going to have to do it all again next week when I get back in town. But I was like, you know what? This guy's clearly trying. He's doing everything he can do. And he also appears to feel like shit that this has gone poorly. Why would I just said, it's okay, buddy. I'll see you next time if you're still here. And I felt like that same thing last night. And the whole plane seemed to understand that on some level. Everybody's trying. Everybody's doing the best they can do. And I guess when you think you might spend the night in Syracuse, you're just happy to get to New York City whenever you get to New York City. And I don't mean that anything about Syracuse, just as much as if you got a flight booked to LaGuardia, you want to land at LaGuardia, not at Syracuse. Mm. And so when you think you might be spending the night in Syracuse, New York, you're happy to get to LaGuardia, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So when those wheels finally touch down after 8.5 hours of nonsense, the crew got a round of applause from the passengers, including the sweet Gail King. So crazy travel day, but in a weird way, it was actually kind of like an encouraging day. I saw real people working together to try to accomplish something as best they could, despite obstacles one after another. and nobody was really yelling at each other. Everybody seemed kind. It was a nice moment in American travel. I hope I never have to experience it again. But if I do, I hope I'm surrounded with people with the same similar types of attitudes, I guess.
Number 2.
Meantime, the Washington Wizards have given Trae Young a 4-year deal worth $212 million. Do you know why, Bennett? Why did they do that?
Well, I saw Brian Windhorst say it's the worst contract in the NBA right now. I was like, jeez. That's
just
intense.
Crazy. Like, I don't even know what they're doing. Like, I don't know. Like, nobody wanted this guy at the trade deadline. And now you convinced yourself somebody was going to give him a contract comparable to this?
It is.
Shouts to CAA.
No doubt, man. I mean, yeah, he definitely ended out on the right side of this thing. But yeah, I mean, listen, Trae Young's a good player. Like, I don't know, maybe that they're banking on, hey, the change of scenery. It didn't go well in Atlanta in the end, but they did have good moments there. Maybe being somewhere else, being here, this new team that we're constructing, maybe it's going to change things, but you don't really have anything right now to prove that.
To me, no matter what you think of Trae Young, like, even if you believe in Trae Young and you say stuff like, hey, this guy's been to an Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
This guy's been an all-star. And don't tell me he can't do big things at his size, because we just watched 6'1" Jalen Brunson beat the Finals MVP, lift the Knicks past the third. Little guards are back in. Even if you believe all that stuff, to give Trae Young a contract with an annual average value of $53 million, you should only do that if you think somebody is actually going to give him a contract with an average annual value of $53 million or 52 or 50. Who are you competing against? Who was also throwing $200 million at Trae Young?
I gotta think.
In February, nobody wanted him. In February, nobody wanted him, and now somebody wants to give him $200 million. How did you convince yourself of that? Here's the quote. Here's the quote from the reporting.
Okay.
This is from The Athletic. In recent weeks, the Wizards' decision makers became convinced. Now, keep in mind, became convinced. What does that mean? Either they convinced themselves or somebody else convinced them. It doesn't mean they've always been there. It means that in recent weeks, either they convinced themselves or somebody convinced them that with the new NBA's new anti-tanking measures compelling more teams to compete, that Trae Young was going to command maximum salary contract offers from other franchises. You ready for this? I'm not convinced of that. I don't believe that. You know what I think happened? I think CAA, shouts to CAA, I think CAA got in there with Washington's front office and was like, hey, listen, we're talking to everybody. And like Trae is happy in Washington. Not everybody's happy in Washington. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to your franchise for decades, but Trae is happy. But, like, he's going to opt out of this $49 million player option. You know that, right? Keep in mind, when he opted out last week, do you know what the reports from NBA analysts were?
What?
People who do, like Bobby Marks. You know what Bobby Marks said? Well, yeah, you reject the 1-year player option, $49 million, so that you can come back and get more guaranteed money over more years. And do you know what the number of people were throwing out? You reject the $49 million player option so that you come back and you get 3 years, $120. He got 4 years, $219.
Crazy.
All right. So they became convinced, either by themselves or other people, I assume other people, that somebody's going to outdo that. Bobby Marks, who does this for a living, thought last week, if you want to get a long-term 3-year Trae Young deal done, multi-year deal done, say 3 years, $120, that sounds like something you could do. And even some people are like, I don't know if I want to do 3 years, $120. And they do 4 years, $219. Because, according to the reporting, they were convinced somebody else was going to do it if they didn't. This is what I bet happened. The CAA people are like, hey, he's going to opt out of this, and he wants to be with you. But, like, just know, ain't nobody trying to finish last, next to last, or next to last anymore. And Trae Young might not get you a title, but he can keep you out of that bottom stuff in the standings where your lottery odds go down. He can make you respectable enough to be at least good. And if this A.J. DeBonsa thing pops and everything else works, maybe you got something special. I already told you you've been to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you just saw what Jalen Brunson did. I think they got convinced if we don't do something, we're going to lose it for nothing. And they said, all right, here's 4 years, $219 million, $212 million. And I don't think anybody would have come close to that. I saw somebody say they'd rather have just Washington did this without a gun to its head. And you could have just let him walk for nothing. And what most people believe is letting Trae Young walk for nothing is better than giving him 4 years, $212 million. And so a different front office, I guarantee you would have said this. If Trae thinks he can get a 4-year, $212 million offer or anything close to that, please, guys, go get it. We will congratulate you if you get that done. Because remember, we were the ones involved in these conversations about Trae Young in February. And we were left with no indication. Nobody cares this much about him anymore. The team he just left got better when he left. They were good without him, got better when he left. In February, we were left with the impression around the league, and so was Atlanta, that nobody's in on this guy like this. And you're trying to tell me now, if I don't give you 4 years, $212, we're done? Bring me the contract. How about this? Let's treat this like restricted free agency. If you want to, bring me the contract, I'll match it. I bet you can't bring me one that's close to this. I think they got...
You think they got fleeced?
Yeah, they got bluffed, and they didn't know how to get out. I think they got talked into, ooh, if you don't do this, you might lose him. And in truth, they were not going to lose him.
I also wonder, like, I know, like, ultimate goal, win a championship, all that, totally get that. I do wonder, like, what you said a few minutes ago plays into it. Like, listen, we can be good next year. You know, we're going to get the number 1 pick in the draft. We got an exciting young player in Alex Sarr. Let's get this done because we know Trae is an established good player in this league. And right now, we need more than anything to be a good franchise that makes the playoffs.
That seems to be the thinking. But my whole thing is, even if you – how about this? Maybe I'm not being clear. I subscribe to all of this. It's actually advantageous to be kind of not bad as opposed to super bad based on the way the new lottery odds are.
Right, that's true.
All right?
That's true.
You don't want to finish 30th, 29th, or 28th anymore with that record. All right? Can Trae Young help you avoid that? Yes. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Can Trae Young make you good? Yeah. I think Washington could be in the playoffs next year. I mean, Trae Young, AJ DeBonsa, like I could see Washington in the playoffs. Yeah, I could see Washington in the playoffs. All right? So can Trae Young keep you out of the bottom 3? Yes. Can he make you good? Yes. None of that matters. Trae Young is good. Sure. Trae Young can keep you out of the bottom 3. Whatever. Why are you paying this price?
Right.
This is not a price you had to pay. I don't believe anybody else was going to pay that price, and nobody else talking on TV about the NBA thinks that anybody else was going to come close to that price. But somebody convinced Washington front office that if you don't get to this price, you might lose him. And so they did it, and it'll probably be a mistake that they regret for at least, let's call it 4 years.
Number 3.
Meantime, Julius Randle got salary dumped to Brooklyn. Randle and the 28th pick tonight to Brooklyn for the 33rd pick. That means that Minnesota just moved down 5 spots in the draft, only to get rid of Julius Randle and his big salary and his bad attitude.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Minnesota does not get some kind of big splash in free agency after this, then their fans are going to be pissed, right?
Well, I mean, they're going to have somebody. I saw one report suggesting it might be Derek White, who fits perfectly into that space. This, based on all the reporting, including the reporting from people who cover the Timberwolves specifically, this is very much a move that sets up the next move.
Yeah. And it feels like that because we've seen this time and time again in the league, like it feels like this is now the point for that franchise. Like you've had the runs, you've gotten to the Western Conference Finals multiple times. This is like the big last push to keep Anthony Edwards happy in Minnesota.
Because you're already seeing that now.
What's about to happen? Yes,
you are already seeing that now. Anthony Edwards went to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. He watched Karl Anthony Towns get moved out. Watch Karl Anthony Towns win a championship. the guy they brought back as the centerpiece of the Towns deal, is by most accounts just difficult to be around. I mean, that's what you remember after Minnesota got eliminated, and they're like, "What do you guys need to do for next year?" And every player was like, "Have better attitude."
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's who they were talking about?
100%.
Wow.
100%. They were talking about him. It seems to have gotten to a point with him where they just said, "Hey, whatever we're going to be going forward, we'd rather just do it without you. So go to Brooklyn. We will move down in a draft to get rid of you. 2 years ago, in theory, you might have to move down in a draft to get a player like Julius Randle. Now you got to move down in a draft to get rid of a player like Julius Randle. He was an all-star 2 years ago.
Right.
He must just be a cancer in the locker room.
I guess, man. Yeah, I mean, he's a... Yeah, I mean, it can clearly too, like sending him to Brooklyn like that is that's not really keeping your player's best interest in mind. That's for sure.
That's just like, hey,
that's
Brooklyn's
like NBA
the place
purgatory. Yeah,
it's KD and Kyrie. Like Brooklyn's the place. Like, hey, you make a lot of money and we don't really want you anymore. Go to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Go to Brooklyn. They'll take
Which is
you.
sad. Like, I feel bad for any Nets fans out there. My God, like that's what you're the salary dump team. That sucks. Yeah.
They don't. You're just a salary dump team. They don't have Nets fans. If the reason you never see them,
the Knicks are like parading all around the entire city. It's all you see.
The Knicks could hold a parade in Brooklyn, and it would be bigger than anything the Nets have ever done in Brooklyn.
That's tough, man. I mean, I feel bad for them.
But so this is what people are saying about Anthony Edwards. You go to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Then you watch Karl-Anthony Towns get moved. He wins a championship. The guy they bring back to take over, in theory, that level of production is you just salary dumped him less than 2 years later. You watch the Spurs moving up. You watch the Thunder being the Thunder. That's the speculation. Like, when is Anthony Edwards going to do what Giannis did and say, "Hey, I love you guys here, and we tried, but it's clearly not working. You just had to salary dump the dude you got to play with me when you moved Karl-Anthony Towns out. So this ain't going well. Maybe I'm next." That's probably coming.
Yeah, it's like kind of the blessing and the curse with having that early success with Anthony Edwards, right? It's like, I mean, we've seen this. Like, it's like you get to the Western Conference Finals and it's like, well, this is what we're supposed to do now. This is what we're supposed to do every year, and now we're not doing it anymore.
I have started to, and like all of these people can do whatever they want. It got nothing to do with me or have any impact on my life. But like, you go to these places, you build homes, you accomplish real things. And with Giannis, it's a championship. With Anthony Edwards, it's at least going to the Western Conference Finals. You're happy there. You love it there. Everything's cool. But then if you're considered one of the best players in the world and you don't think you can hold the Larry O'Brien in the next year or two, it's like people start almost asking you, like, why are you not trying to get out of there? It's almost like why? Because you know what's probably going to happen to Giannis? Probably. I'm not guaranteeing it. He'll go to Miami and he'll win some and he'll lose some, but probably not win a championship. And if the whole reason you were leaving Milwaukee to begin with, and I know it's not the whole reason, but was because you can't compete for championship, and then you go to Miami and you also probably aren't competing for championships. Like, do you just feel like you messed up your legacy? You messed up your statue? It just feels like the second a superstar in some cases feels like, I don't think this, I'm looking at this and it doesn't look like it's championship. The rest of the world starts going, well, he needs to get out. And then whether you want to get out or not, you maybe start wondering, well, do I need to get out? I mean, the whole world's telling me I need to get out. Like right now, whether Anthony Edwards is thinking about getting out or not, they are talking about it on ESPN.
Right.
So you start to wonder, like, do I need to? Do I even know what I'm doing? And then it just feels like everybody moves around, and for what? Like a bunch of kids in Milwaukee are going to lose their favorite player. For what?
That's tough. I saw someone comparing it to Dirk a little bit, and how Dirk's just a legend in Dallas. Played with that team his whole career, and it's.
I think that's what I would rather be.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather just, because if it's a little bit like.
And now, and Giannis is a legend in Milwaukee. He's always
forever.
Gonna be,
forever,
right.
he will be, and
right.
he probably will still get the statue and all of that stuff. All right, but I kind of like the Dirk thing. Like, you win a championship in Milwaukee, you win a championship in Dallas, just ride it out. Like, I think Steph's just going to ride it out, because once you've actually reached the mountaintop, so to speak, then if you just start looking for it somewhere else, unless you're LeBron James or Kevin, are you really going to get it? I mean, Kevin Durant didn't even get it. Unless you're LeBron James.
Right.
Are you really going to get it? I think you start looking for more championships, and you just find yourself probably in a different situation, not the situation you're used to, that tangibly speaking isn't any better or worse than what you had. It's just you get frustrated in Milwaukee when you're not winning like you used to. And the same thing will probably happen in Miami. Remember Jimmy Butler? He's not happy, so he wants to go to Miami.
Butler,
and then it's like, I'll be happy in Miami because we'll win. And then they won a little bit, and he seemed happy in Miami. And then they stopped winning, and then he stopped being happy. That feels like the way these things tend to go. But, as always, we wish everybody luck.
Number 4.
Closer to home, the city of Memphis is pushing today for a $5 million emergency fund for repairs at AutoZone Park, while Sam Hardiman is reporting the city is also terminating a contract that seems like a wild waste of taxpayer money. And I know, we live in the United States, so a waste of taxpayer money, oh man, we do that $1 billion a day. In other parts of the world, it ain't no big deal. But here in Memphis, every dollar counts. You sent me this story. Shouts to Sam Hardiman because it feels like he just saved taxpayers of Memphis millions of dollars because there's this contract that's been sitting there. This is crazy to me. So the big headline is City of Memphis is trying today to get $5 million to just I don't know, pull some weeds and get some bricks put together back at AutoZone Park. Like you were at the park this weekend. I know you had a great time, but I gather it doesn't look or feel the way it looked and felt the first time you were there.
Well, no, I mean, it's obviously older now, but it's why I think that this is like a no-brainer to make this happen for them because that you can still, that's still a beautiful ballpark. Like it's there. You don't go in my opinion, I didn't go in there and was like, damn, this thing is run down. Like it actually does seem like if they can get this, what was it again? How much? What was the money? The price on it?
$5 million.
It seems like that they should be able to get stuff done with that. Like these, I think it's stuff that you just don't see when you're walking into the facility. So I do think it could actually go a long way for them, and I think it behooves the city to make this happen today. I think it's important. Yeah.
So we're trying to get, follow me here. We're trying to get $5 million to just make AutoZone Park a little better.
Yeah.
It'd be like if your old house needed some repairs and it was going to cost, $100,000 to get those repairs done.
Yeah, they said critical repairs, I'm assuming infrastructure type stuff. Yeah.
It's the same stuff, not to get too inside whatever, but at FedEx Forum, buddy, it is construction every day. I mean, we can't walk downstairs we used to walk down. We can't ride in elevators we used to ride in. We can't park where we used to park. It is construction every day, and a lot of it just seems like, hey, we need to make sure this parking garage doesn't fall. Stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, but it's just infrastructure, just stuff that needs to be done after a while. Same way in your house. After a while, you got to replace an oven, a water heater, a dishwasher. At FedEx Forum, you got to replace things. At AutoZone Park, you got to replace things. So trying to get $5 million to just help AutoZone Park be better. Meantime, Sam Hardiman, pouring through paperwork, finds that the city has already paid.
By the way, it's $55 million. Just
50. Yeah, but 55 for the big repairs.
For the big repairs.
The $5 million emergency fund is what they're trying to get done today.
That's right. You're right. My bad.
Okay. So they're trying to get the $5 million emergency fund for hey, we just need to.
We need to start right now. Yeah.
In the process of reporting this, Sam Hardiman at the Daily Memphian, this is important stuff. I hope people recognize this. Finds that a consulting firm based in Florida has already been paid about $2.8 million for what looks like nothing. Best I could tell. Makes me want to open a consulting
firm. The hell are they consulting?
Okay. So this is just really good reporting. Like, Sam Hardiman deserves a lot of credit for this in the Daily Memphian. This is why we have local journalism, because the New York Times ain't going to find this probably. They don't care enough. We got, other stuff they're looking at. I'll just read you straight from Sam's story. What wasn't discussed at the council meeting was how much the city of Memphis was paying Viesti, a project management consultant firm, to work on the future renovations and ongoing repairs at the ballpark. From September 2024 through April 2026, the city paid Viesti, a consulting firm, roughly $51,000 per month to serve as project management consultant for the renovations and repairs. All right? Totaling about $2.8 million. This is not something anybody brought up. Sam Hardiman found this and then started asking questions. What is this? Why are you paying $51,000 a month to a consulting firm about AutoZone Park and the surrounding areas? And they were like, yeah, we're going to cancel that immediately. Boom. It's going to cancel at the end of next month. So it's clear they know this is bullshit. All right? Who signs off on this? Who did this?
I don't know. That's wild.
Well, that's what I hope the next reporting is. Who did this? Because it seems just on a surface level, and I want to be clear, I don't know anything about this stuff. All right? But it seems like paying $51,000. Okay, just Bennett, your own checking account. Think about how you log in on your phone. And if I told you on the first of the month, every month, you're getting $51,000 directly deposited into it. All right? That's a nice feeling. And then I'd say, all right, Bennett, but what are you going to do? What did you do? Tell me how you earned $2.8 million from the city of Memphis as it pertains to consulting for AutoZone Park between September 2024 and April 2026, because I can't look at it and see it. What'd you do?
I don't know. I mean, I wonder what goes in. I mean, I think I'd be pretty good at consulting. Like, I think I could go down there like I did this past weekend and just say, that looks good. That looks bad. This is okay. We might can keep that. That's not great. I think I could consult.
I want to know who at Viesti got this deal done, and I want to know who in Memphis got this deal done from that side, and I want to know if they know each other, because this is America. Like, this is what we're doing right now. Like, you make a donation to the administration, and then you get a government contract worth $440 million. Right? This is the way this stuff works. The fact that they canceled this contract, that's seemingly the second Sam Hardiman asked about it, suggests that it's not a great contract. So Sam Hardiman, great job, wonderful reporting. Now I want the follow-up. Tell me who got this deal done, because I bet they know each other.
Number 5.
Lionel Messi continues to be a star of this World Cup. 2 more goals in Argentina's 2-0 victory over Austria.
He's got all 5 of their goals.
He's now the first person to ever score 18 goals in the World Cup. That's the most ever. Kylian Mbappe will at some point pass him, probably in the next World Cup, I would imagine.
Oh, he's trying to one-up him right now.
He's doing the best he can.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, 37-year-old Lionel Messi is still awesome, which leads to people asking questions like, why did he ever come to MLS? Like, what has he been doing?
2023.
Because you know what people have just sort of said, well, he's getting older.
He's getting older, yeah.
Yeah, hey, grow the game in America. Incredible financial benefits for him doing it. He got like revenue share deals with Apple and all sorts of stuff. So tons of money, better life for his family. You know, he's been living in Europe with incredible pressure his whole life. You come to Miami, you're in America. Nobody really cares if you win or lose soccer games that much. We don't even know. We really don't even know if you're playing them. Like, you don't know every time Messi plays for Miami. Neither do I. I think there was a time where I did.
It's hard to watch, if I'm being honest, but that's another discussion.
I genuinely right now can't tell you where I would watch a Messi Miami game. Is it still Apple? I don't know. So you can come here, be more of a husband and a father, make incredible wealth. In theory, try to grow the game in America. No pressure. And also, like, because there's no pressure, you just enjoy life. And but what everybody would come back to at some point was, and he's old. Like, you know, he's Messi and he still looks good in MLS. And when he puts on that Argentina jersey, it still looks like him. But he is not what he once was. Like, put this in basketball terms. Like, if you were watching who's the aging star that's like on the way out right now, but they're still in there? I don't know. Like, LeBron's still really good, so I don't think he's a great comparison. But it'd be like the guy who's been a 10-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, first ballot future Hall of Famer, Dwight Howard. Let's call it Dwight Howard. But at the end of Dwight Howard's career, it was like, yeah, it's still Dwight Howard. He's got all those accolades, but he can't jump like that anymore, run like that anymore, alter shots like that anymore, do those things anymore. So you're looking at Dwight Howard, but he's not Dwight Howard. You're looking at Vince Carter, but he's not Vince Carter. He's not what you remember. That's what people were talking about with Messi. Like, he's good enough to still play, and he was a GOAT for sure, but he's not that anymore. And it turns out he might be. He might still just be awesome.
Is, yeah.
And so now I'm starting to hear now everybody's got new narratives about why he really came. It's funny, like the same people telling different stories. It's like, no, you idiots. He didn't come to Miami because he was old. He came to Miami because, sure, he was getting older, wanted to grow the game. They threw crazy amounts of wealth at him, less pressure. But here's the other thing. If you play for Barcelona and you just start sitting out games, they'll riot. Like, that's a big thing. In Miami, bro, you don't feel like playing, sit out. Take a month off, rest. And so he hasn't just spent the past 3 years playing in MLS. Oh, that's where you idiots got it wrong. You know what he spent the past 3 years doing? Relaxing, taking care of his body, not pushing himself so that he would be fresh and ready for the 2026 World Cup.
It is pretty cool, man. Like my 7-year-old, like he's not like just like he enjoys going to the games and stuff like that. He's not super well versed in like the stars of all of these leagues and stuff like that. But it's like I was talking to him. I was like, Messi. He's like, oh yeah, I know Messi. He plays for Argentina. I'm like, that's crazy how much it transcends.
My kids don't watch soccer at all. You ready for this? They couldn't name an MLS team.
Yeah.
They couldn't even name Miami. They wouldn't know that. Oddly, even though one of my sons has a Miami Messi jersey. But here's the thing. Both of my young kids have Messi jerseys. They both have Messi jerseys. It's iPads. They get on their iPads and Messi's just in their face. They're not watching the games. Do you think they're watching MLS? No. But Messi's just in their face. Messi's a superstar. You do not have to follow soccer at all or even sports, I don't think, to be aware of him. And it's just been interesting. People are now reimagining the motivation for coming to America. When it happened, a lot of people were just like, yeah, well, this is a natural progression of things, and it's time to start winding it down. And what people are now saying is, oh, buddy, you guys had it all wrong. He could still play over there if he wanted to at a high level, but if the goal is actually to, relax a little bit, but also be as fresh as you can be for a World Cup at this age, come to America. Don't push yourself too hard. Play when you want to play. Don't play when you don't want to play. And you'll be fresher than you otherwise would have been. I don't know if that's true. I just know that that's what I was reading and listening to. And it seemed interesting because the entire narrative has flipped with the way he's starring in this World Cup. It's crazy. I mean, he is killing it.
Oh, and this Golden Boot race is exciting because all three of these guys, so Messi's got 5 goals, Mbappe's got 4, Haaland has 4. And this is the second time that they both scored. That they all three scored 2 goals in a game. Like it's pretty. It's pretty wild stuff. Yeah.
And Messi missed a PK.
Yeah.
So he could have had 3, another a hat trick there. So, I don't know. Like this World Cup has been awesome.
It's been so good, man. I know it's elevated because it's in the States. Like it's just so in our face, but it's been awesome.
And I don't want to be America first, but. Man, if somebody told me, I know you do. Hey, we know. If somebody told me, GP, I know you're not America first. You don't want to get involved in all that nonsense, but you know what? I'm actually not as anti-American person as you would think. I'd rather spend billions of dollars in America than in Iran. So, maybe I am America first when I think about it.
I think we all are at the end of the day.
I think I might be at the end of the day. Hey, bring our rockets and our billions back over to America and let's keep them here as opposed to over there blowing up little girls in schools. Yeah, I think if that's what you want to call America, probably America. Anyway, and somebody said, "Hey, GP, I don't know how you feel about nothing, but we can have the World Cup in the United States every 4 years if you're cool with it." I think I would be cool with it. It's cool. It's great.
It is really great. It's been awesome.
I love it. I mean, even on the plane, I didn't want to watch soccer on a plane for 8.5 hours yesterday, but I did, and it helped. It helped make the day pass. I had the World Cup on live in front of me.
Yeah, man. I'm up last night ingesting this Giannis news while watching Algeria with a massive come-from-behind victory. Like, this is good stuff.
This is good stuff. I love the World Cup. Messi's a star. I don't think they have any plans to keep it in America forever, but could we just take it? You know the way we take other things?
Well, I think the next one. So I saw someone say the next one is on like 3 continents. That seems rough. I feel I feel like that's gonna mess up our TV schedule. Like these have worked out great, where it's just like one game next. Like they're just all stacked on top of each other all day. I feel like it's gonna mess things up if we're in different continents.
I don't think we're gonna appreciate how awesome the game times are in America for the World Cup. I don't think we're going to appreciate it until we don't have these kickoff times anymore.
I'll make a compromise. We don't have to put it in America every 4 years, but we have to abide by American time zones for the TV viewership.
Okay, Bennett, that's 2 straight days where you've had really good ideas.
You like that?
You had a great Toy Story idea, and now for the second straight day, you got another idea. This is what we should tell the world.
Mm-hmm. You can have the World Cup.
We can
share it.
This is what we should tell the world. Hey, world, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we ain't scared to go take whatever we want, all right? We do whatever we want. We could take the World Cup. We think that'll be easier than opening the Strait of Hormuz at this point. We could take the World Cup by brute force. And if you've been watching the news, you know that we'll do it. But if you'll just abide by American time zones, no matter where you play this thing, we'll let you take it around the world.
For sure.
And we promise not to attack it. All right? We'll let you take the World Cup around the world. We promise not to attack it. But you have to, kick off at 9 a.m. Central, noon Central, 3 Central, 6 Central, 9, something like that. All right? We'll let you take your little World Cup around the world. Understand, we could take it if we wanted to. All right? We'll take that. We'll take Carg Island. We could take it if we wanted to, but we're willing to let you keep it and travel it around the world, but you have to give us good kickoff times that correlate with our time zones here in America.
I love this idea.
I love it too, Bennett.
Yeah.
It feels a little heavy-handed, but if it leads to me being able to watch soccer all day long, every June, every 4 years, I think I could turn my head and look over here while we're getting things done.
I think I could too.
That's the American way, Bennett.
Yes, it is.
Be back with Carryout.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Grizzlies, take your fandom to the next level by becoming an MVP.
How long have you been an MVP? Since day one.
Enjoy the great benefits of being a season ticket member. Pre-game MVP moments, including Autograph Alley, exclusive Grizz gear deals, access to member or MVP-only player events, and much more.
He's been an MVP for 22 years.
Become a Grizzlies MVP today.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org.
If you cannot make it to the Grizzlies draft party tonight, tune in. The Grind City Media Draft Show presented by Southland Casino. Tonight at 7 p.m., you're going to hear from GCM personalities as they react to draft picks, trades, and more. Download the Grind City Media app and subscribe to the Grind City Media YouTube channel today for all your Grizzlies draft coverage. Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
So we talked about Messi headlining the World Cup, but the Tartan Army's also becoming a pretty big star of this thing. Did you see what they did last night?
What'd they do? Drank more beer?
Oh, yeah, of course. But the Marlins reached out to them because they're all in Miami. And the Marlins were like, hey, I don't even know if you guys like baseball. Most people down.
We got 5,000 empty seats, so.
Most 50,000 empty seats. Nobody down here does. Kyra, see if you can pull it up real quick. Just Google or Twitter search Tartan Army, Tartan Army, at the Marlins game last night. So the Marlins reach out to them and are like, guys, hey, if you guys want to just come see Major League Baseball, we'll do a Tartan Army ticket package for tonight. And so these dudes are like, hey, we're here and we ain't got nothing else to do, and they sell beer at the place, and who knows if we'll ever have a real opportunity to go to a Major League Baseball game, so let's try it. And so the Tartan Army showed up in Miami, watched the Rangers beat the Marlins 4-3, but they turned it into an absolute party. Watch this.
Damn.
Tyler, see if you can get the sound on it. You can even turn down the background music here, because I want you to see what it's like when they get into the stadium. And it's just routine fly balls. And they are like, you go to a baseball game, Bennett, and you see a routine fly ball. Left fielder runs underneath it. The crowd doesn't even blink. You don't even hear anything unless it's like the last out of the game. These dudes invaded Marlins Park. And a routine fly ball to center field, and the whole support crew would be standing up in great anticipation of this routine fly ball. And as soon as the left fielder would catch it, they would just explode like it was a goal in a soccer match. They were turning
bagpipes.
And you get 27 outs in baseball, right? Each side. So there's a lot of opportunities to celebrate outs if you just want to. And, buddy, they celebrated every out like it was a goal in a World Cup match.
Is there a more beautiful sound than the sound of bagpipes? I just don't think there is.
Maybe not, Bennett. I don't know if there is. So, just a reminder, you can have fun anywhere. Americans, we are so used to baseball games, we just go, sit down, and grab some peanuts and Cracker Jack and just watch it. And a guy throws the ball 100 miles an hour, and another guy somehow hits it with a stick of wood, and it goes in the air, and there's this dude standing 175 feet away, and he just like barely paying attention, just reaches up and catches that ball that this other dude threw 100 miles per hour, and that this other dude hit with a stick of wood. This is crazy. We're numb to it because we see it every day. Tartan Army was like, buddy, this is wild. They celebrated every out like it was a championship.
That's awesome.
Best home field advantage the Marlins have had in maybe ever. Maybe ever.
What's today's biggest game?
We're going back to the World Cup, Bennett. Group stage match in Houston at NRG Stadium.
Pull this up.
Portugal against Uzbekistan. Noon, Fox 13. I can give you Portugal -2 at -130. Or I can give you Uzbekistan at +2 at +110. How you going to act?
What did I have yesterday?
Brant's -3. That's a winner. 3-0.
I thought so. Shout out Mbappe.
3-0.
3-0. Yeah, 3-0. Get it right. I'm gonna go Portugal here. This is a big day for Ronaldo. Obviously, I mean, again, you have the 3 stars of this World Cup going off again yesterday. You got to get on the board. We're definitely gonna get a Ronaldo goal. That's happening. Okay, so
if he's not washed, the streets are saying he's washed.
There's your little side bet. Ronaldo goal. He's scoring today. And he gets
the streets are saying he's washed. The streets are saying Ronaldo's washed.
They got to force feed him the ball today. All right. So it's. Did you say -2?
-2 at -130.
I'll take it.
Okay, Bennett said take Portugal -2 at -130. The streets are saying Ronaldo's washed. I guess we'll find out today.
Portugal wins 2-0.
Well, that'd be a push for you.
I mean, that's better than losing.
Pushing is better than losing, Bennett.
Yeah.
Not going to argue with you about that. Portugal -2 at -130. That's the play.
What are we watching on TV?
I think you should watch the Grind City Media NBA Draft Show tonight on the Grind City Media app and on YouTube. I miss you guys every year. I want to be there, but then I get an email that says you got to be here. So I'm here, but I'll be with you in spirit.
Okay.
And it's going to be a huge night. I mean,
I might text you if I need some info.
Man,
I'm on the late shift tonight, so I'm gonna be like towards the end. So I'm gonna be like, we're gonna be breaking down like these late first rounders. So I might need a little intel.
You just got to pull up all the mock drafts, make your 4 bullet points, and then you just spit them out coherently, and you sound like a draft analyst, Bennett.
That's my goal, is to have a talking point for all of these players. So wish me luck.
Hey, good luck, Bennett. Get you talking. You got plenty of hours left.
It's going to be fun down here tonight. I'm going to be up here doing the studio show. We're going to be live on YouTube tonight, but obviously we're having a big party in the arena, so it's going to be a lot of fun tonight here.
Party in the arena, show on Grind City Media, and then we'll be back here tomorrow to enjoy whatever the Grizzlies selected with the 3rd pick in the NBA draft.
What's the best thing we've read?
My final mock draft is published over at CBSSports.com. Finished that on a tarmac in Atlanta yesterday. So if you haven't seen it yet, no changes at the top. DeBonsa 1, Peterson 2, Boozer 3. You can read it. It's on the homepage, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Wednesday. We'll look back at the first round of the NBA draft. Get ready for round 2. Chris Vernon will join me. Looking forward to it already. Should be an awesome night, followed by a fun day. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Enjoy the draft tonight. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.